Your exams have just been over, and many of you all are waiting for NEET. Hello, Trisha. Hello, Monish. Hemlata. Hi. Hi. So good to see you all, guys. Hello, Ashlesha. So, guys, you already know the topic of discussion today. Today, we're going to deep dive in NEET to see how is the application process, what could be the backup plan for NEET. Hi, Shreyal. Oh, wow. Vidyanshu, congratulations. Hi, Vaishnavi. Namaste. How are you doing today? Yeah, so we're going to deep dive today in NEET to see how the application process is and what could be the possible backup plan. So first of all, tell me, guys, what is the full form of NEET? I want everyone to type in. Come on, I'm sure everyone knows what's the full form of NEET.
Yes, long answers. Quickly typing in.
Oh, yes, Vidyanshu's got it right. Yes, National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test. So, guys, we all know what is the significance of NEET. NEET exam is a very important exam because it is the only medical entrance exam conducted in India. This includes the admission of MBBS course in all government and medical institutes and also the admissions to AIIMS, JIP, MER, and it's a very, very important exam. So today with us, we've got Soumya Tandon, who's the senior coach at Mindler. She is amazing. And we've got Dr. Sunita, who is the head of research and training. She's one of the most senior, most coaches that we have at Mindler. So welcome, Soumya, and welcome, Dr. Sunita. We're so glad to have you here today. All right. So Soumya, I want to just ask you, what is your understanding of NEET exam? What do you think is the NEET exam?
Thank you so much, Hetal, for the lovely introduction, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to the webinar. So just deep diving into the NEET exam. So when we think about NEET, as correctly mentioned, the full form that you've mentioned, National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test. So we are looking at a national level of entrance test in India. And majorly as a field of medicine, it is the only exam which is there for either a government or a private institution. Even when we talk about something like alternative medicine, which we'll discuss shortly in the webinar, a lot of universities do take up NEET as one of their exam criteria as well. So Dr. Sunita, anything that you would like to add on for students in the NEET?
Yeah, so as Soumya was telling, every time when NEET exam is coming, around 16 to 18 lakh students will be appearing for the NEET exams. For approximately about 52,000 odd seats of government seats and around 48,000 private seats are available. So every year, this is increasing. The number of seats will be increasing. And so as the competition is also becoming crazier and craziest. So today, as Soumya was telling, we are going to walk you through all these process and counseling process. What can be the backup option? Because once you write NEET, most of the students think that it's only for medicine. There are other courses out of NEET. And apart from medicine, you have several other courses which you have to keep as backup. So we will be discussing about those backup options shortly. Okay.
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you so much, Sunita ma'am and Soumya, for giving this lovely introduction of what NEET is all about, how important it is, and how many seats and how many students are going to apply. Soumya, if you can help me, what is the eligibility to give this exam and who all can give this exam?
Sure, Hetal. I'll answer this question quickly. Can students, parents, educators who've joined in the chat, what is the eligibility? What are the subjects that are required in order to give the NEET exam? Just type in for me in the chat, please. Yes. And you keep on asking your questions also. So we have Shagun from our team. We'll keep on answering. Okay, so Aparna says PCB. Trisha says PCB. Okay, physics, chemistry, biology. Very, very intelligent audience. Alina says physics, chemistry, biology. Arman. Okay. Do we need maths? Do we need maths for NEET? Yes or no? Just type in no. Okay, yes, absolutely, you're correct. So the compulsory subjects or eligibility wise, the subjects that we require are physics, chemistry, and biology. And in terms of age, there is also an eligibility. So you would be just appearing or have completed 12th recently, or the upper age limit has been removed. So this year there's no specific upper age limit. Anyone can give the exam. Earlier it was around 23 to 25, but that has been removed recently. So any age group can give the NEET exam as well.
So I would like to add here again. So when anybody can give NEET exam, even the graduates, BSc graduates can also give NEET exam. Those who have taken physics, chemistry, plus biology, that is when the BSc graduates, which concentrates on 3 different subjects: chemistry, biology, zoology, and chemistry, botany, zoology, physics, chemistry, biology, like that. Different combinations will be available in BSc courses. Those students also can take, can write NEET, and even biotechnology students also can write NEET. So there are certain graduates who have taken biology combination with chemistry combination can definitely write NEET. And so physics is one of the important subject where you will have to learn that or where you will have to have with you to clear the NEET exam. So in that case, CBZ students, they will have to work a little on physics and then write the exam.
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you so much, Sunita ma'am. Thank you, Soumya, for clearing this doubt. So now the audience knows what is the eligibility, who can give the exam and clear NEET and become a doctor, right? So my next question, Soumya, to you is, what are the top 5 tips to qualify the NEET exam questions? So I'm sure like 80 lakh students who are going to sit for this NEET exam. Can you give them some tips to how to stand out amongst all those 80 lakh students, and what should they keep in mind while giving the exam?
Absolutely. So the competition is super high. Like as Dr. Sunita and Hetal has mentioned, there are around 16 to 18 lakh people giving the exam every year. And odd about, like in total, we can say 91 to 92,000 around seats are there in total, right? So it's a huge competition. So top 5 tips, yes, as we were discussing, physics, chemistry, bio is the number 1 step is concepts. Okay, so how good am I in understanding or my conceptual understanding of physics, chemistry, and biology? Specifically, tell me one thing, dear students, parents, and educators, which is the subject out of physics, chemistry, and biology which has maximum questions in the NEET exam? Do you know about this? Okay, bio, yes, absolutely, absolutely on point. Bio has 90 questions. Yes, really, absolutely. So when we talk about physics and chemistry, physics has 45 questions, chemistry has 45 questions, but biology has 90 questions. We'll discuss this in detail too. So this gives us a hint that we'll definitely need to focus on our physics and chemistry, but biology has a huge base when it comes to the exam. So first step is making your concepts very clear. Second is be very strategic. Okay, so now as we are sitting in 31st March, tomorrow we are just coming up in April, and just near the corner we are going to have the exam. So number of days, number of hours, number of questions, how much strategy can I plan in order to give the exam? And we can help you with that as well. So if you reach out to us, we can even help you in guiding how you can actually create a full study strategy for yourself. Then third is, of course, once you've started with the concepts, you created a strategy. Third is do lots and lots of practice questions and last year questions. So last 10 years papers is a must. Then fourth, very odd tip, but do not study one day before the exam. Like, this is something which I feel that it goes a bit counterintuitive to a lot of students, but I suggest not studying just one day before, or like studying minimum and then leaving your day to relax and enjoy and give that mind your space. Why do you think this is important? What is your opinion? Would you just type in the chat? We've studied a lot. We're studying, but just one day before the NEET, we will study a little less. Why do you think that's the reason? Yes. Okay, to relax, to stress free the mind. Okay, may create the confusion, stress. Yes, absolutely, Hemlata. There's a lot of stress, right? It's an exam, we are preparing for it. It is kind of, this, either you clear it or you don't, right? There's a lot of commitment which is involved in the exam. So there's a stress part too. So just to feel relaxed, have your breaks, and one day before, I would say relax your mind at that time. And the last tip, after giving the NEET, just make sure that you have strong backups in place, because it's a very competitive exam. So backups are really important. Dr. Sunita, anything that you would like to add on for the students?
Yeah, Soumya. So as Soumya was telling, we don't have 2 full months for dedicating to the preparation, right? So by this time, you must have finished your entire syllabus. You must have finished at least one revision round by now. And anybody who is having something extra, don't start with any new chapter or any new topic during these 2 months. That is very, very important, because it will again confuse you a lot. And the second thing is that don't use several books to read. Use only those books, those notes which you have prepared, the short notes which you have prepared while revising or while learning the subjects. Third thing, now it is a time for you to concentrate and focus on mock test. It is very, very important. Most of the students do mistake by not doing the mock test. So why mock test is important? It helps you to figure out where you stand and help you to focus on where you go wrong and where you need to focus more or work more. That is one part. The second part, when you do the mock test, you are automatically trained to manage your time and at the same time doing the things accurately. It means speed and accuracy can be maintained properly if you are doing it. So suppose if you're taking a mock test, don't get up from that place until 3 hours, 20 minutes. Daily give at least one mock test. That is very, very important. So after doing that, after sitting 3 hours, 20 minutes, see how much you are able to complete the questions, because most of the students, I won't say none of the students, most of the students, they are not getting the time to complete the entire question paper. They are not getting time to read the question paper completely. That is the reason why some of the students are getting less marks in NEET. So from now onwards, when you're working on mock test, you will have to plan in such a way that each question paper, you will have to try with different strategies. So you have 4 sections: physics, chemistry, botany, and zoology. Find out which is the easiest one for you and start from the easiest section. So why I am telling you the easiest section is the easiest section. This is while practicing, and the same thing you will have to do while doing the exam also. So when you do the easiest section first, it builds you that confidence. It boosts your confidence level to do the rest of the sections. Okay. So that is the reason you have to take the easiest section first and start reading the question paper entirely from starting. Suppose there will be students who will be very much interested in biology only. Most of the students who are writing NEET, they will be very much interested in biology, especially the zoology part is more interesting than botany again.
Botany, yeah.
So start with the zoology, then botany. Then there are students who very much like chemistry, and most of the students can go for physics at the end only. So what you have to do is, while starting itself, complete all easy questions from all the 4 sections. That will give you an idea about the entire question paper When you're doing this, mark out the difficult questions with some symbols where it requires little more time for you to do, or some thinking work or some work regarding that. Then mark some questions will take more time for you to think, right? It requires some calculation, especially in physics and chemistry. So mark those questions with some other symbol and complete all these easy questions. Next is, after going one round, the second round, you can finish all those questions, which is bit time consuming, but you are able to solve. You have that confidence to solve, but it is time consuming. In the second round, you finish those things. In the third round, you will have to do the difficult questions where you need to think a little. So like that, you have to keep this in mind and do the mock test. When you're keeping this in mind, when you do the mock test, you will get more strategies to work on it, so that the aim is just to complete the question paper, read all the questions in the question paper, right? The aim is to do that, because some students, when they start from one section, they complete everything in the first section, and they will not get time to do the easy questions in the other sections, because by the time goes out, right? So you will have to follow this strategy while doing the mock test, which help you to continue or retain it while doing your examination also. So this is one thing which I wanted to tell you. The second, another thing which I wanted to share with you is, read the question completely. That is very important. Sometimes what happens is, the first part of the question seems tougher. The second part of the question seems easier. When you see the tougher part, you immediately think that, oh, this is a tough question, I cannot do it, so let me go for the next question. Don't do that. Read the question fully. There will be some clue you will get from the second part, so that you can solve it within a fraction of time. Okay. And fourth thing is, you will have to read all the options. See, I know everybody will work on elimination method. And to work on that elimination method also, you should know all the four options. Read all the four options. Though you know the correct options, see to that you are reading all the four options. So these are some of the strategies, or some of the things which I wanted to share with you people. And the next thing which I wanted to tell is, apart from this mock test, also spend little time in working on the previous year question papers also. When you work on the previous year question paper, you get to know the question paper structure, and you will also get to know certain topics, know the weightage of the topics,
Right.
how many marks the topics is coming. That is very, very important. There will be a difficult chapter where you get only for 2 marks or 1 marks, right? So you need, that thing you will have to work out. So when you work on the previous year question paper, you will get to know the repeated questions and what are the questions from repeated topics. All these things you will be able to understand. So it becomes very important to work on previous year question papers. Now, mock test is over. Previous year question paper is also over. Just working on the mock test and just working on the solving the previous year question paper is not the end. When you are doing this, the very important part is the evaluation. So you are spending 3 hours, 20 minutes in the mock test, or you are spending 3 hours, 20 minutes in solving a question paper. The next part, you should spend at least 4 hours to analyze what mistake you have done out of that, after spending that 3 years question, that is 3 hours. That becomes very important. Unless and otherwise you evaluate your performance or analyze what mistakes you have done, it is very difficult for you to understand what should I focus, or what should I revise again? Which part should I strengthen? Which topic I am lagging back? So all these things you will be able to understand only when you evaluate the question paper. Evaluate your performance. Also, it is very important. There will be some topics you would have missed. That also will be taken care by this exercise. So these points you have to keep in mind for these 2 months. It is very, very important.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sunita. That was very insightful for the audience to know how to study, how to strategize their entire way of studying, and what to do and what to not do. Thank you so much, Soumya, for that. And thank you, ma'am. My other question is, what is the process of admission after giving the NEET exam, Soumya?
Sure. So I think Dr. Sunita can add on this very much in depth, but to give you a very brief idea, after NEET, dear students, there is something like your seat allocation process, wherein based on my rank in the NEET exam, I have to give in certain list of colleges wherein I would like to secure a seat in the particular course that I'm looking for. So the whole NEET counseling process and seat allocation process takes place. And after, the next step is you give in your final documents to the particular institute that wherein you are securing your seat in. Dr. Sunita, I think it would be great if you can add on further for the students here.
See, when it comes to this counseling process, the NEET application form, you will have to fill the NEET application from all those questions, whatever they ask about your marks, everything you will be filling. Once you fill that, it is like, see, after you filling, they will ask for that, what you say, mock counseling. Through mock counseling, you will have to fill the preferred colleges, and after doing that choice filling, you will have to lock your choices. Then this all India quota seats, that is the NEET seats, medicine seats are the counseling for this medicine seats, MBBS as well as BDS is conducted by MCC. So they conduct 4 rounds. Round 1 and round 2 is there. The third round will be mop-up round, and the fourth round will be the stray round. So before this round 1 comes the mock counseling. So in that mock counseling, you will get the, it is a testing round to understand that whatever choice you have filled, if are you getting it or not, or it will give an idea how you have to fill the order preferences for the college. That is mock counseling. And next comes the, what you say, round 1. In the round 1, you will get the colleges depending upon the preferences you have given there, the college preferences, whatever you have given there. So you can either accept or you can go for round 2 also. So if you are accepting, you will have to report to the college, or otherwise you can go for opt for the next round. For the next round, again, you can change the preferences or the order preferences of the college. And then after, within this first 2 rounds, most of the seats will be filled. 15% of the all India quota seats will be filled in these things. Simultaneously, 85% state quotas counseling will happen in different states. So this MCC will not take responsibility of 85% quota seats. It takes responsibility only for the 15% quota seats. Okay. And the next thing is that there is a stray round where if anybody is not taking or accepting the seats in the round 2, can go and attend with the stray round. With this, MCC completes its the counseling process. Now, sorry, mop-up round. With mop-up round, it completes the counseling process. The last round is stray round. The stray round is conducted for the vacanted seats. That is not conducted by MCC, but it is conducted by different institutions where the vacancy arises. Okay, so like this, 4 rounds will get completed. So for more details you want about the counseling, you can definitely that is enrolled with us so that we can discuss about this.
Absolutely, absolutely. So just to summarize, dear students and parents, we have 4 rounds of the process, and with your NEET exam rank, depending on the course that you're applying for. So one can be MBBS, there can be other courses also that we'll discuss in some time. So there will be separate counseling process wherein you'll have to give a rank of colleges that you're applying for. And as Dr. Sunita mentioned, there with the 4 rounds, there are certain all India quota and state quotas and particular quota seats that are involved in the full process as well. So if you need any further guidance, just reach out to us and we'll help you there.
Thank you so much, Sunita ma'am and Soumya, for giving this entire detailed information on how the entire selection process goes. Um, I'm sure many of the audiences and a lot of attendees who joined this webinar would have this question. With so much of competition and only few seats available, what if I don't clear NEET? I mean, that is one question which I'm sure everyone here would have, with so much of competition. I am sure Trisha also has the same. What if I don't clear NEET exam? What next? What do I do? I mean, everyone will feel helpless and very disheartened. Okay, I've not, I've not got selected for NEET. Now, what else can I do? So, Soumya and Sunita, ma'am, will you like to throw some light on this?
Yeah, definitely. Soumya, are you opening the PPT and
Yes,
then
yes.
you're going through that? Because we are
Yes.
having already it.
Yes. We'll as Arman said, and Hetal, very important question. We need something that what if I don't clear? What's my next plan? So as Arman mentioned correctly, backup. What are my backups and how I can go about it? So we'll discuss a presentation wherein we'll in depth cover what if I don't clear and what are our backups there. Absolutely, we'll cover that. So yes. So, Hetal, I think we'll quickly take the students through the presentation and
Sure,
then
sure,
we
Soumya.
can discuss about it.
Yes, over to you, over to you. Yes.
All right. Just give me a second. I'll share my screen. Hope you can see the full screen. Great, amazing. So just brushing up our concepts, introduction to the NEET exam. So what is NEET we've discussed and courses that we can apply to. Now students, quickly tell me what are the courses which take up the NEET exam? Can you name those courses in the chat for me? What are the various courses that I can apply through the NEET score? So Arman says MBBS, very good. MBBS. Okay. So Unnati adds BDS. Yes, dental surgery. Absolutely. Okay, yes, absolutely. Now I'm getting the in-depth answers here. So MBBS is definitely one course, and as Divyanshu, Sakshi, a lot of students have mentioned, there are other courses like BDS, when we talk about becoming a dentist, Unani, Ayurveda, when we are talking about certain courses as veterinary sciences. So there are a lot of courses of medicine wherein NEET score is taken a part of it. As Divyanshu has mentioned, nursing. Yes, a lot of universities of nursing also do take up NEET score. Some of them may have their separate criteria as well. Let's look at something which is alternative medicine. There are certain courses, dear students, which we will discuss shortly, which are alternatives to medicine, right? There also NEET is taken into account. For example, one strong example can be physiotherapy, right? So physiotherapy is one example wherein few of the universities do take up the NEET score as well. Dr. Sunita, anything that you would like to add on here in terms of medicine and alternative medicine?
Thank you, Soumya. Again, when it comes to medicine, you have MBBS, you have BDS, you have veterinary science. Okay, so these three comes under medicine. And then you have also through these things, that is MBBS, BDS, the counseling is conducted by MCC, as I told you before. Apart from this, MCC conducts counseling for BSc nursing. And that is only for 8 central institutes and not for all the institutes throughout India. Okay, only for 8 central institutes, it conducts nursing, conducts counseling for nursing. So totally MCC conducts counseling for only 3 courses, MBBS, BDS, and nursing. Now, when it comes to veterinary science, Veterinary Council of India conducts its own counseling through NEET score. So for that also, NEET score is very important where the counseling is different. Now, coming to alternate medicine. Soumya was telling about some courses in alternate medicine like homeopathy, Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani. these are the 4 major courses that comes under alternate medicine, where you will be working as a doctor only, that diagnosis and treatment, right? So for this, there is separate counseling. That is Ayush counseling. That will be conducted separately for this alternate medicine again. So all these 4 courses comes under alternate medicine, and the counseling only is done for these 4 courses. Apart from this, there is one more alternate medicine that course that has come into existence, that is naturopathy and yogic science, which can be possible through merit-based, as well as there are some institute which also take NEET score into account, but counseling will not be there for that course again. So these are some of the areas that that is the courses that students can apply through NEET score, where NEET score becomes mandatory.
Right. And just to clarify, students, when we are using NEET counseling, we simply mean seat allocation after the NEET score, right? So career counseling is different from NEET counseling. Just clarifying that when we are talking about career counseling, we are creating a roadmap together. What are the courses, entrance exams that I can plan up? But when we are using the term NEET counseling here, we just mean the NEET seat allocation process. So in India, it's called NEET counseling, right? So that's just a clarification that I'm giving. Now, coming on to the main exam. So the online application process last date is 6th of April. The date of exam is 7th of May. So just around the corner. And duration of exam, as we were discussing, is 3 hours and 20 minutes. So as Dr. Sunita was mentioning, that when we are giving the mock test and we are giving the last year papers, we are in the habit of sitting for 3 hours and 20 minutes continuously. So it's really important that once we are giving the mocks, we are having a kind of a practice of our main exam itself. So spending that amount of concentration in sitting for 3 hours, 20 minutes would be really, really essential. And NEET undergraduation course is being conducted in 13 languages. So you can apply to one of the language mentioned on the screen, and you can give the exam in that language. There are certain centers specific to languages also. So you can check the NEET official website in case you want to apply it through a different language. Rutuja is asking, ma'am, what do you think students should do? How many hours study to crack NEET? Rutuja, very important question. How many hours to quantify that? I would say we can customize that, each to its own, right? So if I'll first understand as a coach where you are right now, what are the topics that are crucially clear to me, and from 1st April to 6th May, I can make a plan as to how many hours I spend each day studying to have a very good standing when it comes to the competitive exam. Dr. Sunita, anything you want to add on to this one?
See, when it comes to this NEET, and you are in the last minute where 2 months is not big, it's very small. Okay, so you will have to divide your entire time in such a way that you will have to give time for strengthening your weaker areas. You will have to give time for mock test. You will have to give time for evaluation. So daily mock test, then evaluation, then again revising back those areas which you are weak, which you have missed one. Everything takes its own time, and this time depends upon how much you are prepared. See, there will be some students who are prepared very well. There will be some students who lack a little, and that depends upon 7 to 10 hours minimum is required for a continuous revision process. Because as I told you, in a day, 3 hours, 20 minutes goes only for doing your mock test. After doing your mock test, you have to evaluate it. After evaluation, you come to know what is your weaker area. Then you will have to spend little time in revising your short notes, which you are prepared already. So this you will have to continuously do it. While doing this continuously, I will recommend the students, when you're doing this, take breaks in between. When you are taking breaks, see to that you are doing something which you like the most, which refreshes you a lot. Don't go towards any mobile or anything that is connected with the internet, any gadgets that is connected with the internet, because you keep on, your mind automatically shifts to that, where you, to bring them to that track, you will have to spend more time. So be focused on your exam and see to that for another 2 months, you ask your sibling or your mother to handle your mobile and give you some important messages, and keep this aside just for 2 months. We can work, right? So that is one thing which and then second thing is that as much as possible, diet plays a very important role to keep your mind refreshing. Again, the oily stuffs on there are many things that that the junk foods and all. Avoid all these things. Try to have boiled or steamed food. Try to have as much as nuts, dry fruits, all these possible fruits as possible. So this will keep you energizing, as well as it will not dry you up or make you lethargic. Okay, so these things you will have to keep in mind when you're preparing for the NEET for the last 2 months.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. Now, moving on.
Siddhangana. Psychology is not a part of NEET exam.
Yes, absolutely. It's not a part of NEET exam. Eligibility, as discussed, we've discussed in depth about eligibility. Moving on to the next slide. Okay, now this is something that we'll discuss in detail. So NEET exam, we are very clear that there is physics, chemistry, and biology coming up in the exam. And physics, chemistry, biology, when we talk about it, biology is divided into 2 sections, botany and zoology, as we were discussing before. Now, if you see the interesting thing, number one thing to note, dear participants, is that there is negative marking. Okay, so there are 4 marks for correct option and negative marks -1 for incorrect, and then unattempted is 0. So this is one thing that we'll need to note, keep into account. And then the second interesting thing is there are certain options in the paper. So section A has 35 questions, and as mentioned, section B has 15 questions. Out of those 15 questions, you can choose to attempt any 10 questions. So there are options within the paper as well. So physics, section A 35, we'll attempt all, section B 15 out of 10. So in total, 45 we'll be attending. Similarly, for chemistry, 35 and 15 out of 10, 45 questions. And in botany and zoology, similarly, 35 and 10, 35 and 10. And our biology section, as we were discussing, is a lot. So as you rightly mentioned, there are 90 questions there. So with biology, we are focusing a lot on both botany and zoology coming together. Both the concepts are coming together here. With the base of the subjects, the syllabus is mentioned in details. It's CBSE based. So your physics, chemistry, biology, all concepts of your 11th and 12th will be part of the NEET exam. And that is now how to strategize that. I think Dr. Sunita can add on a lot here. Just to give a very brief idea, as ma'am was mentioning, first is we answer those questions which we're very confident about. So we can start with zoology, botany, chemistry, and physics, whichever pattern of paper that you are most comfortable with. And at second time, we go to the questions which we have skipped in the first easiest part. Now we go to the little difficulty level and last into the highest difficulty level. Third, just a quick tip that I can add on here is your physics, chemistry, and botany, zoology. The concepts that come in the exam are very similar in last 10 years paper. Even the questions which are coming in, you can guess, okay, these are the 2 topics where a lot of questions come in. These are the 2 topics where less questions come in. So to strategize that right now would be very helpful. Whenever we are solving the mock test and last year papers, we think about what are the 5 topics of physics which come a lot in the NEET exam. What are the 10 topics of biology which do come in the NEET exam, which we can focus on right now? Dr. Sunita, anything you would like to add?
Yeah, somebody was asking which subject you will have to solve first. See, the kind of subject that you have to solve first depends upon the student. See, for some students, they like chemistry a lot. So what they do is they start with chemistry. Because when you start with the subject that you are comfortable with, you feel more confident to do that. It increases your energy levels to do more. And so that is why we are asking you, that is why we are not asking you, we are suggesting you to start with the easiest subject first. Now, when you do chemistry, there will be some students who like zoology. So those students can start from zoology. There will be some students who are very much interested in plants, that is botany. They can start from botany. There are very few students who like physics than other 3 subjects. They can start from physics. So that probably depends upon the students, which subject they are comfortable with, which subject they find it easy. Start from that. That will be a very good thing. Second, once you start from that, the next, suppose chemistry, then the next interesting subject for me is zoology. Next interesting subject for me is botany. And I will do physics only at the last. Yes, no problem. So complete all the easy questions in all the 4 sections. Then when you're completing the easy questions, it means it should take a fraction of time to answer the questions. That is easy question, because when you take this 180 questions, you will have to complete in 200 minutes. It means each question can have you cannot spend more than 1.1 minute or something. You cannot spend more than that. So the difficulty level is that again. So once you read the question, you should be able to answer it immediately. That is easy question. Then when you're reading the next question, if you're not able to spend much time, mark it and then go for the next again and again, so that you complete the easy questions. Then you complete the difficult question, that is a difficult question. And then you complete the question which requires more time for thinking and strategizing. Okay, so this is how you will have to.
Absolutely. And for students who have some time in giving the NEET, this is also very helpful, because this will give you an idea, okay, how am I starting my preparation? If I have 1 year or 2 years in my pool right now, if I'm not just giving it this year, then how I can strategize my plan in preparation of physics, chemistry, botany, zoology concepts as well. So that is something that we'll need to take into account. And all of them are multiple choice questions only. So they are MCQ format. Regarding the negative marking, so with easy questions, if we are very sure, like what easy means to us is that I know with accuracy that this is the correct answer that I'm filling. Okay, so that is where our most correct answers would be fetched. Now, where to take the risk is which I am bit sure that I would land into the correct choice here, and make sure that we are not taking too much risk. Okay, we're not, it's not advisable to randomly mark the answers, because there's negative marking involved here in the paper, right?
And Tanisha, don't get demotivated again. See, the thing is, nobody is not going to get anything in their first performance, and even in the first 5 performance. That is why we always say do mock test. And when I say do mock test, daily 1 mock test you will have to do. That is very, very important. So when in the first time, when you're doing the first mock test, you cannot complete all 180 questions in those 200 minutes. It is not at all possible. So first, what strategy you have maintained, change the strategy when you're doing the second mock test. Change then you will be able to add some 5 questions more. Then again, change the strategy in the third question. first 10 mock tests, you cannot expect anything as a very big expect. You cannot have a big expectation out of that. And don't ever give up because you are giving poor performance. So poor performance is quite normal. Don't think about it. These poor performance are going to lay road for your best performance. So your best performance is going to happen on the NEET day. So till then, you may give poor performance. That's not at all a problem. Whenever you are giving this, that is why once you give a test, when you feel that I am not able to answer this question, why? Maybe I am back in, that is poor in that concept, or maybe I have not memorized, because botany and zoology, most of the questions, 80% of the questions are recalling questions. That is memory based one. Physics and chemistry, 50% recalling and rest 50% will be calculation. And physics, 25% may be recalling, and all the 75% question will be concept based. So physics and chemistry will be concept based. When it comes to botany and zoology, all thing is memorized. So that is why most of the students go for those sections first and then go for chemistry and physics. So that is also there. So keep these things in mind. So all these things you have to set right in your mock test. All this experiment you have to work in the mock test. Never mind that you are giving poor performance in the mock test. That is quite normal. Everyone will have. See to that you, after each mock test, you are improving, you are enhancing, you are studying again, and you are revising again and again. So that will lead to the best performance at the end of the day. No worries at all. Don't feel bad for it.
Absolutely, absolutely, Dr. Sunita. It's like we're giving the practice for the final series, right?
Yes,
Final
of course,
exam.
it is the final exam, because 2
Yeah.
months is not too big.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So whatever we score in mock test, not to get demotivated, because there is time, and that's the purpose. That's the purpose of the mock test itself. And even in physics, as Dr. Sunita mentioned, the trick that she has mentioned, right? Like biology has a lot of concepts which can be memorized. And then chemistry and physics has the numerical part. So this is also something that we can look into it, that if I'm giving the paper, which are my strong concepts that I've completely memorized till now, and which are my little weak areas that I can work on in these months and score well in the final exam. Coming on to the NEET process, so there right now we are at the application stage. Then there'll be NEET exam, then our seat allocation process, NEET counseling that we discuss, and then final admission formalities in the university. For now, we are only going to be focusing near to the NEET exam, and later after our score comes in, then we will look at the seat allocation and counseling process at that time, based on our rank or our score of NEET that we have got. Now is the main question of backups. What if I do not clear NEET at all? So Dr. Sunita, what do you think, what can students do if there are 18 lakh, of course, 18 lakh around students giving in? There are odd about, as we just discussed in the starting, 92,000, 93,000 seats. Let's take it about like 1 lakh approximately. So 18 to 1, that's the kind of ratio we are talking about. So what are some of the strong backups that I can keep that would be very helpful in case I do not clear NEET? What are some of the courses that I can look forward to?
Yeah, see, when it comes to NEET, as we were discussing all this time, it is the only exam for medical, for getting into medicine. Okay. Now, I am somebody who wants to become a doctor. Yeah, I am writing NEET. I want to be a doctor. So I am getting into it. If I am not able to score to that level, okay, if I am not able to score, because 720 is the maximum mark. If you want to get into a government institution, you need to score at least 620 or near to 600 to 720 marks. You can get into a very good government institution. Still more, if you are having 580 or 570, you can get into little bit government institution where the facility is not much, it is not much branded or well known. Then comes the private colleges. Private colleges, as you all know, the fee structure is very, very high in private colleges. So those students who are in the range of 500 to 580, they can get into private colleges. As Soumya was mentioning, there are close to around 1 lakh change seats totally available for NEET, because every year, even this year, I think the Uttarakhand, they are increasing around 1,036 seats, I think. So anyway, it will increase still more this year again. So out of this, 52,000 odd seats are available for government, under government. And in that also, the students who are getting very high score will fill the top colleges. And you will have to compromise 1 or 2 facilities to get into a little bit medium colleges. Now, when it comes to private colleges are also equally good. So here what happens is the fees will be very high. So there are too many things that happens here. And again, when it comes to this number of seats availability, when you compare it with the, the quota, around 65% quota goes off with the different thing, and only around 16,000 odd seats are available for open category. So out of this 18 lakh students, suppose if 6 to 7 lakh students are from open category, they are competing themselves for the 16,500 seats. So you will have to think in that way. So when you are competing, all these figures, I'm giving you an approximate figure. Okay. So when you think like this, definitely it shows that you need to have a perfect backup. If you are, see, when it comes to backup, there are 2 things that can happen. One is, I am somebody who have not scored well in NEET. So I want to write NEET again. I want to drop this year and write NEET again. So in that case, how can I secure my 1 year? So what I can do, I can get into any other courses, like which I can see that I can do some wonders next. So most of the students who are doing medicine, the alternate course they find is the research areas. That will be the perfect alternate for the students. The research areas can be something in the biology or something with respect to technologies, biomedical science or biotechnology, like that. There are too many of things that is coming up right now. The research areas can be an equivalent one. Now, so the student who wants to write NEET for another 1 year, they can get into any BSc Life Sciences or BSc Biological Sciences. And the next year, they can write the NEET, right? When they are writing the NEET next year, suppose if they are getting good marks, they can go for a government institution for an MBBS degree. Or otherwise, even then, if you are not able to get a good marks, you can continue with the life sciences, and then you can go for some research area. Or after completing the life science, the graduation degree also, you can go for MBBS degree. So that is also allowed, right? So in that case, you are not dropping a year. So having this backup is very, very important. The second thing, there will be some students, oh, once I have written NEET, I don't want to turn back to that NEET again. So what I can do? I can go for pharmacy. I can go for pharmacy is another area. I can go for some BSc degrees in either physics or chemistry or biology again. I can do, when you're going for BSc degrees, definitely it is research areas when it comes to biology related areas. So physics and chemistry, it can also be a research area. It can also be something which is industrial applications also when it comes to physics and chemistry. Apart from this, here I can see occupational therapy, physiotherapy. Physiotherapy is again a very good alternative where the student will be learning all the things that a MBBS degree student will be learning. Everything, the syllabus, everything is, they will be learning everything except for the case that they will not be involved in surgical part. So that is again another important thing, physiotherapy. Occupational therapy is again something that it combines physiotherapy with the treating the emotional well-being of patient, like they will be depressed or they will be mentally disabled. Such patients are treated by occupational therapist. So these physiotherapy, when it comes to physiotherapy, as Soumya was mentioning a while ago, there are some colleges which also accept NEET score for physiotherapy. So when it comes to physiotherapy and occupational therapy and even pharmacy, these three courses, some institute accept, give you admission through NEET. Some institution has their own entrance exam. Some institution will accept through your board marks also. So these three routes are possible with physiotherapy, occupational therapy, and pharmacy. So coming to allied medicine, this is another big area that is growing right now. If any student feels that I want to support my family financially, immediately after 3 years or after 4 years, they can go for this allied medicine area. This allied medicine, why I'm giving you this is something where these professionals will help the doctors to diagnose or to treat, to give therapy. All these things will be done by this allied health professionals, because this allied health professionals are growing right now because of so many reasons. First thing, we are expanding the healthcare thing to from tier 1 to tier 2, tier 3, and rural areas also. Because of this expansion, there is a lot many need for these allied health professionals. Second thing is that we are moving from curative medicine to preventive medicine. So that again is expanding the need of this allied health medicine. Third thing is that the integration of technology with healthcare, has given more abundant need of allied health professionals, bringing in comfort for the doctors and nurses to use equipments, gadgets, and devices. So those technologists who work behind this is allied health professionals. Then again, you have something called geriatric population is going to increase. We are going to just double the population by 2050. So the geriatric population is again here also you need geriatric care professionals, technologists, doctors, all of them are required again here. So for these reasons, this allied health area is going to have a big expansion. So when it comes to allied health medicine, generally there is a talk that no, the salary will not be very high. So how I can get into those areas? There are certain areas where they are giving very good high salary. There is very good growth opportunity for certain areas. I do agree there are certain areas, once you get experience, the work will be repetitive only. But one thing we can make sure that this particular area is not going to get automated very soon, because it is something related to human feelings, sensitiveness, emotions. So this particular area will not get automated soon. So you can definitely trust on this again. So when it comes to allied medicine, definitely there is a scope of improvement again. So these can be a proper backups for the students.
Right. And just to add on, so if we think about biology as a career, okay, these can be main options too. So NEET is of course one exam, but let's see the example of vaccines. So can you type in the chat what are the various vaccines that have come up very recently during COVID time? Can you name some of the vaccines that we've all had? Covaxin, okay, interesting. What else? What other vaccines have come up in the world? Covaxin, Sputnik, okay. Covishield, yes, absolutely. Absolutely correct. Lots and lots of vaccines coming up. Pfizer has come up, absolutely correct. Right now, let's see one interesting thing. Do you think doctors were involved in creation of the medicines, or do you think there were other people also involved in the creation of these vaccinations? What do you think about that? Were there only doctors in the team, or were there other professionals also involved in creation of vaccines? Research areas, others also, absolutely, absolutely. So if we look at biology as a career, vaccine is just one example. We use so many medicines like drugs. Drug production is a big thing. We use so many creams on us, makeup products, so many interesting things are there. Lots and lots of biology is involved in there. Don't you think there's a lot of biology there? Veterinary sciences we were discussing. So the pet industry has grown a lot recently. So there is veterinary sciences importance coming up there. So yes, NEET of course is the main plan for a lot of us, but the other courses, what I'm trying to say is they're as lucrative as you think. Okay, so as good as a doctor, they're as lucrative when we think about the other biology domains too. There are certain people who do a bachelor's in biology. It can be MBBS, it can be anything else, and PhD degrees or some interesting course, and then they club it with an MBA. Why? Because there's something called an healthcare management which has come up. So why I'm sharing all this is students, we are thinking from one angle right now, but if once you take up a career coaching process in Mindler, we understand where's your interest like, where's your aptitude like. Am I really good at what I'm planning? Is my interest there, or have I actually explored other options too? So these kind of questions are important to answer because we are committing almost 5.5 years of our studies ahead, and even 5 to 7 years of our work experience ahead of the lives that we are planning. So these are very important questions to ponder upon, and that's where the career coaching part comes in too. So when we are thinking about backups, when we are thinking about our main course, it's important to talk to a coach to connect with us in Mindler. Why? Because I'm thinking from one angle, but there are 100 questions which I have not really thought or pondered upon. There are hundreds of courses that I don't know about, which can be top courses or colleges to apply to in India or even outside India. So this is something that I want to leave it at the end, that you know what's best for you. So there is no one in the world, not our parents, educators, teachers, even career coaches, we cannot tell you, okay, this is best for you. Soumya can know what's best for her, Hetal can know what's best for her, Dr. Sunita can know what's best for her. But we all together, all of us, are your parents, educators, career coaches. We kind of act as so to say a catalyst, okay, in biology. Like we're acting as a catalyst to speed up the process and to make it more efficient and to make it more expansive and reliable, so that we are making the informed choice. That's the only purpose, that we are making an informed career choice once we are moving ahead in our steps of career. Yes, Dr. Sunita, anything that you would like to add on here?
Yeah, as Soumya said, see, all these backups are there, but not everyone can do this. So you need to identify how rightly you fit in these backups, because these backups have different, job profile and the kind of task you're doing, the kind of activities you're doing, the kind of income you're going to get, the kind of growth opportunity, all these are involved. So you cannot just jump into it. Oh, if I am not going to MBBS, I will go for this. Why I am going for this? Am I the right fit for this particular thing? That is very, very important. And the next thing is that somebody was telling that why agriculture can't it be a very good backup? Yes, of course, but agriculture is not through NEET UG. That is why. But for agriculture, you will have to write ICARA IEEE exam, through which you can get into vast number of agriculture courses, including BTech courses are available here in agriculture. So agriculture can be a strong backup other than NEET also. Okay. So with, is there any questions from the student side?
Right. Alicia and all students.
Bhavana, to become a psychiatrist, what you have to do is first you have to do MBBS, then you will have to do MD in psychiatry.
Right. Alicia, students, if you want guidance, you just email us, call us, we'll help you. The email ID, and you can see on the screen here. Is there a scope of biology in space field? If so, what could be the job? Yes, absolutely.
Biology, there is psychology, space psychologist. You need a space medicine. That is, a space medicine is completely different, and it is only one organization in entire Asia that is present in Bangalore, which gives space medicine. So for that also you need to study MBBS. Okay, so space medicine is also available, and it is very critical. Okay, so it has certain conditions to be satisfied. So first you have to complete your medicine and then go for that. See, when it comes to Divyanshu, when it comes to biology, you have NICER, you have CEBS. NICER is National Institute of Science, Education and Research. You have CEBS, Central Excellence for Basic Science. Then you have IISc, then you have IIScR. These are very good options for research institute like ISI, that is Indian Statistical Institute. Okay. You cannot do psychiatry after BDS.
Not possible.
That is not possible.
Students with psychiatry, the field of clinical psychology, where the counseling and therapy part comes in, that is another thing. Like a BSc or a bachelor's in psychology is also a route where, but it's not related to MBBS. For psychiatry, it is compulsory to do MBBS, and then there is a master's, is an MD in psychiatry, as Dr. Sunita was mentioning. What's the scope of dentistry, ma'am? Aditi is asking.
See, when it comes to dentistry, again, early there were less scope, but nowadays, because the cosmetic industry is growing, the scope for dentistry is also there. And when it comes to dentistry, there are different areas under dentistry where you can get into, like dentures, making dentures, dental hygiene, or what else, marketing the dentist. That is, if after doing dentist also you have very lot more scope, management, marketing, everything is there. And since, as I told you before, the cosmetic industry is developing, there is a very good scope for dentistry coming in.
So Jignesh has a very interesting question. He's asking, are there any areas in medicine or medical field where I can exclude surgery as part of my medical courses? Unfortunately, no.
When it comes to MBBS, surgery comes over there, but you can avoid yourself from not doing. See, after MBBS, you can go for psychiatry again. It is treating the people mentally, and there less amount of that. There is also surgery, but that is not compulsory. Okay, so there are areas like that also which we can discuss.
And absolutely, students, a lot of them are asking about overseas. Yes, definitely, it's possible that you do a bachelor's in India and you do a later master's in overseas. That's absolutely possible, no problem at all. All right, thank you so much. Zian, for best backup financially, there are many. So with financially, as you've mentioned, good salary, they are very lucrative and with very good and competitive salaries. So we can discuss that. Just reach out to us and we can give you, suggest you good backups. So financially, all careers are really good. I mean, all are lucrative. It depends on you, like how you're making it financially lucrative as well.
That's how you get involved, how you are interested to do it again.
Yes.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, Jignesh.
Yes. Sanya, yes, it can be. It can be.
Yes, neurologist. See, a neurologist can be from MBBS background also. They can be from psychology background also, or they can be from engineering background also. So you will have to look into it, because neurologist is an area where you will need to have a little bit more of physics and mathematics again. See, that depends upon the area the location where you are going to land. Rohit, the minimum and maximum salary depends upon the location, or the location in the sense higher, very good multi-speciality hospitals, they pay more, whereas a small clinic pay less. So you cannot say that which is a minimum salary and what is the maximum salary again. It depends upon the location, the employer.
There are a lot of students asking also that, is it like possible to do an MBBS abroad or like a bachelor's abroad? Yes, it is possible in other countries also. And that's also something that we can help with. So yes, definitely possible.
Yes. For veterinary science, yes, there is a separate counseling that is conducted by Veterinary Council of India. There is a separate counseling for that.
Jignesh, for fees of the courses that we are discussing, MBBS and BMS and even other courses also, the government colleges will have, relatively a less fees, and the private can range up to a higher level. So fees is also very much variable when we are discussing these courses. All right. Very interesting audience, lots and lots of interesting questions coming up. What is the criteria for MD if opting for being an oncologist?
See, oncologist, it still have 5 years time. So let us not think about it, because on the way you are completing your MBBS, your mind changes again and again. So let us not fix on oncologist right now.
Right, absolutely. Yes, Trisha, we can definitely have a session. Yes, absolutely, we can.
Yeah, we can. Somebody was asking about the counseling and 550 marks. Who's that?
Princey is asking that, can I get a MBBS in government colleges if my score is around 515 general category?
See, it depends upon various other factors also. So that we will have to discuss and then connect with us.
Rohit is asking, what's the criteria of becoming a good surgeon? I think it's a bit early to ask this question. Yeah. Yes, but yes, of course, once you start your medicine degree and you like the surgery part, then we can think further about this question. What aspects are there in order to become a good surgeon? Snigdha, for BPT or your bachelor's in physiotherapy, the marks can range. So it would range, and some of the colleges also have their separate entrances. So some are through NEET score and some are through the separate entrance score as well. Aditi, yes, absolutely. If someone does a bachelor's, MBBS, BDS, other courses, it is definitely possible for a master's or an MD, as you've mentioned, to go abroad, study there, practice there. And it does work. Lots and lots of Indians, you'll find this kind of pattern being followed with the students.
See, this is what we were discussing. So through NEET, being a doctor, whether it is MBBS or BDS or veterinary science doctor, all these are possible, compulsorily required. The NEET is compulsory for all these courses. And for alternate, if you want to become a doctor, but I don't want to take up any other options other than becoming a doctor, then you can go for alternate medicine, which also requires NEET again.
Absolutely. So we'll just take up the last question now, and thank you so much, students. So we'll just take up one last question and we'll end in the webinar now. Yes, so this is something I feel, Jignesh, what he's writing may be very much relatable to other students also. Okay, so sometimes I feel biology is interesting, but there are ups and downs. I feel it's difficulty in memorization. Okay, with Jignesh, we have certain specific thing, like he has some medical issues as well. So I there's motivation, but sometimes I have to study again, so motivation becomes a little less here and there. Biology is easy for me, but then yes, sometimes it becomes boring. So lots and lots of questions coming in as the exams are coming near. So is medical field itself suitable for me or not? So there are some of us, we like biology, but yes, we are having the ups and downs with biology. So ma'am, what do you think? How I think we can help by